You're listening to Power Talk, Berkeley Electric Cooperative's official broadcast about the cooperative, our communities, and ways to use energy wisely. And now, let's join our hosts for today's episode.
Good morning, Low Country. This is Libby Roaring, Director of Marketing and Communications. And if you're a regular listener of Power Talk, you know something's a little different. Our normal lead co-host, Micah Ponce, is out on assignment. He is location scouting for us today. Doesn't that sound glamorous?
I feel like he's out of these a lot. She's been big at here lately.
So we have a full studio for you today. We're so glad it's November because that means it's heading toward the end of hurricane season. And if you lived in the Southeast this hurricane season, I'm sure you want to thank a lineman. So we are talking all things lineman today and have a great group of guests. I'm joined by my co-host, Peyton Dress, our digital media specialist today, as well as Austin Hewette, Apprentice Lineman 2 in the Goose Creek District. Welcome, Austin. And Trey Colyar, Director of Safety and Technical Training. Welcome.
Lord.
We'll sing everyone. Well, Austin and Trey, you guys, Trey, you're a former lineman, male Director of Safety and Technical Training, but Austin, you're definitely still in the thick of it. But you just celebrated 2 years with the co-op?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you came aboard as a full-time employee in 2022. Having joined the team as an electrical line worker intern and recipient of our ELW, for short, scholarship internship at Trident Technical School's ELW program. So, Austin, we'd like to learn a little bit about our guests when we first have you on. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, where are you from? What do you like to do in free time?
I'm from right here in the town of Moncks Corner. I like to hunt and fish and just be outside and have a good time.
Awesome. So what first interested you in getting into the line work profession?
Right out of high school, a few of my buddies were already in the program, so I got to talk to them about stuff they were doing, and it interested me in going through the Trident program and getting started on that.
So where'd you go to high school?
Berkeley.
Okay. So did you play sports when you...
Football and baseball.
Okay. So you were kind of used to that team environment and being outside. So did those same things kind of, is that what drew you into line work too?
Yeah, I mean, the everyday going at it and just working as a team together.
Yeah, the physicality of work. The team. Well, how did you, you mentioned your friends were in line work. So is that how you heard about the opportunities at Berkeley Electric?
Yes, ma'am. Well, actually, when I heard about them and we talked about line work a little bit, and I went on the BEC website and seen that there was a job opening in the Goose Creek District. So I put in for the job, and I ended up not getting the job, but they sent me through the Trident class.
Okay.
So they said they'd pay for everything. And that's how I got home the internship.
Yeah. So that's a great start to your career, get hired on, pay for your training and make a good living for yourself. Yeah. Okay, so Trey, you've been here a little longer than 2 years, but I'm sure some days it feels like you just started, right?
Absolutely.
So you worked your way up through the ranks, and now you're in charge of actually training our line workers. And you were there once, but your most important job is keeping them safe. So same question to you, get to know you a little bit. I know you've been here before, but where are you from and what first interested you in line work?
Born and raised right here in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. Going to Berkeley High School. I worked ever since I could drive. I started my first job was at Eastern Electric, putting stuff together in the back, mainly just sweeping around the shop. I really didn't know a whole bunch about what Mr. Bobby had going on up there, but I knew, though, probably the second day I worked there, I got a flatbed truck, and they sent me to Mr. Howe in Moncks Corner warehouse to grab a 35-foot pole. Well, this little short 20-foot truck and a 35-foot pole. I didn't know where to put it or how to even pick it up, so kind of walked in there and got some ideas of how I was going to strap this thing on the bed of it because it wasn't going to fit on there. So I was a little nervous. Second day, didn't want to mess anything up. So Mr. Howe kind of coached me through how the last person, or probably the last 20 people that worked for Mr. Bobby, come in there and got a pole. So he kind of positioned it where it was halfway on the bed, halfway sticking out over the foot of the truck.
Oh, geez.
Man, I was so nervous. But that's
The slow ride back.
yeah, definitely. I just wanted to make a good impression, like I knew what I was doing. So, oh yeah, I've been there before. I was lost. Didn't have a clue. But that's pretty much where it started. When I got in there and I was kind of making my way around the warehouse and seeing everybody around that office, kind of working, and I'm already like a money-driven person anyway, so that's really where it started. I seen everybody in the parking lot had nice trucks, dog boxes and boats and stuff like that. So that's really where I picked up wanting to come to work at Berkeley Electric, is from working from Eastern Electric.
So how long did you work as a line worker?
So I was up till February of this year, so almost 17 years
Okay.
outside the elements, between being a lineman and a foreman. 17 years.
Yeah. So what would your new safety and technical training Trey say to young Trey putting a pole over the top of the truck and driving down the highway? Probably shake his head.
Yeah, that's where safety manuals and stuff are made from. It's stuff like that.
That's how it was.
Yeah, it doesn't mean.
Got it.
I'm not saying it was the right way, but it was the only way
Fair enough.
at the time.
So I'm playing at your mission.
I did. Yep. I didn't drop it.
So did you have any angst about leading line work and working with a crew to your current role, being in the office? You went from the grass to the carpet.
Yeah. I was a little nervous at first. It's a different transition from going outside to, maybe running into issues and maybe get yourself into a bind where you can actually work through it. You got a group of guys who help you and you'll talk about it, work your way through the problems that arise. Just being outside, I've always been, kind of safety oriented, but when you actually are inside kind of looking out, it's like, man, the things that, could have happened when we were out there, and maybe we could have been better and more proactive towards the things we were doing, thank God we learned from them, out there. But, just the transition from outside to inside and kind of being over that, I really didn't know the full safety side of things. Training side, I had a good grasp on, but safety goes beyond just line workers. We got multiple different departments here that,
Oh, yeah.
we get feedback from, people that don't work outside all day, and, problems arise, and you got to be able to kind of cipher through what you can and can't do and what you need to do and how you respond. So it all works hand in hand, but the culture is way different.
Yeah, and you and your team are responsible for the safety of inside employees as well.
That's right.
And with all the hijinks that we do, standing in chairs and cords all over the place.
We can't, get caught by like this or, it's different. I mean, just a simple walking in the hallway on your phone.
Yeah.
A text message or email. And I hate to say this on, radio, tower talk, but I catch myself all the time doing it.
Yeah.
Walking down the stairs, not holding onto the handrail, and it's just, it's one of those things. He's kind of learn from it, and hopefully it's not from the incident.
Yeah, that intentional mindset of being safe at all times.
That's right.
No matter what you're doing. Well, like I said, today we're talking about the Lineworker training program that we partner with Trident Tech. Trey, how and when did this program get developed?
I got here, I started Berkeley it was July 2007. And we didn't have anything in place. I think we were still a part of statewide organization. I never attended a statewide training, but so it must have been a transition from 2007 to late 2008 is when it got started.
Yeah.
Kevin, I think he went to a college in North Carolina and got the curriculum and pretty much sealed it in. We've been trucking with that same course since 2008.
Yeah. And your job's changed a little bit, but at one point, Kevin Mazzell was in your role in its incarnation at that point. But
right.
Yeah, so Kevin helped develop it. And actually also helped develop the internship scholarship, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. But what's the benefit to having a locally run program? How does that help our members and for us to partner with TTC?
So I think I didn't know a whole bunch about it before I got this role.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last course of 8 months, I've realized that, we have almost like you can handpick these students that go through the ELW program. We were out there a couple times a week with Louis at Trident Tech. We get to know the guys one-on-one. So pretty much form a relationship with whether they're from our area or, a couple miles up the road. So it's almost like we kind of have like a working interview when the guys are in school. So we kind of get to write some notes on this one. Hey, this one will be good for here.
Yeah.
So we definitely have a direct line to, if we wanted somebody out of there, we have pretty much first dibs.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a big benefit of them being, a part of our program.
Yeah. It's a 14-week long interview.
That's right. Yep.
And we really get to know our interns, the folks who are on the scholarship program, because we'll talk more about that in a minute, but they get to work with us on days that they're not in the class.
Yes.
So.
And so I know Austin mentioned he went to the fall semester when he went straight out of high school, but we also have spring semesters at Trident Tech and for the scholarship. And so right now, the spring 2025 semester is actually open for applications until November 22nd. So don't miss out. Make sure you apply today. Don't miss that. And your classes will start in January when it happens. But yes, offered twice a year, fall and spring. So even if you don't make the spring semester, there's another chance in the fall.
But, and if you apply for the scholarship internship and aren't selected to be sponsored by Berkeley Electric, there's 20 seats in the class? How many?
There's 20 seats for fall and spring. They like to keep it around 20.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll go over to 22 maybe, but it's a tight class. 14 weeks isn't that long to digest all of what you need to know as an entry level lineman. But so I'm not saying it's a small group, but 20 students is a good number.
Yeah. So you got 20 roughly in the class, and 2 are sponsored by Berkeley Electric, and you have to go through the application process that's posted on our website right now. But you still get to engage with our instructors as we help Louis with different things.
That's right. So we recently posted the job opening for the spring semester on our website.
Mm-hmm.
We already have 22 applicants for the scholarship program. Usually in the past, we've always had bigger turnout for the fall semester, just because, usually people are getting out of high school, graduating,
and take it to the next step. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They're of age, they're 18, or so they're finally ready to kick off a career. That's usually where we pull them from, is that fall. Mm-hmm. Well, the spring, I have a lot of, interest people email me about, graduating early. So this year, I've had probably 5 or 6 emails so far that people have already put in for the scholarship application and the already enrolled in the Trident Tech program. So we're already starting to get high numbers.
Well, we like to think it's because of all the excellent marketing that we do in the program, and
maybe or just
like
it just may be the new trainer out.
I think we started marketing this stuff a little harder before you started, but I don't know.
All right, and that's your story.
So we have the class that anybody can sign up for through Trident Tech, but then Berkeley Electric has 2 seats that we sponsor an internship scholarship.
Mm-hmm. And just because you're in the class, maybe not sponsored by Berkeley Electric during your time, doesn't mean you won't eventually get a job at Berkeley Electric either. So if there's open positions within this semester and our 2 people maybe take them, but there's 2 others, doesn't count anyone else out. So that opportunity is always there to join the Berkeley Electric team.
Yep. So you could potentially be a scholarship intern, go through the program, and somebody who wasn't actually get a job over scholarship. So it's definitely a working interview when you're a scholarship.
Because we're looking for the best fit. And, you could have two linemen who are equally skilled, but maybe one person's personality or work ethic fits more with the Berkeley Electric culture. We want that two-way relationship. And we have a huge investment in our linemen because as you come in as an apprentice, we're going to continue developing you into a journeyman. So we want you to come and stay and that investment pay off for both parties.
That's right.
So, yeah, just because you go through the internship, you're not guaranteed a job and vice versa.
So what does the internship experience include, Trey? Like, what all does Berkeley Electric help with that sponsorship?
So we do a few different things. So we do provide $1,000 worth of tuition assistance. We provide the books. Can't remember if it was 3 or 4 different books from Trident Tech to do the ELW class. So the tools, they have a whole toolkit, all your climbing gear, hand tools, everything that you need to start the class is provided. And also the scholarship recipients get to work on Fridays with our crews. So Trident Tech's classes Monday through Thursday, 8 to 3. Most of the time, and they're off on Friday, so they get opportunity to work with different crews in the area.
And during school breaks, too, they can work.
They got fall break and spring break, so they'll have a whole, probably 40-hour week throughout the whole 14 weeks that they actually do the work consistent.
Yeah, we actually met one of our students in Ondaw. He was there, and we had a team meeting. He had lunch with us.
George the intern.
George was an added intern.
Yeah, George was excited to see us. He was not excited.
So we start off with 2 scholarship recipients for fall and spring, but we will sometimes add different interns to the mix. So George, he is not necessarily a scholarship recipient.
Okay.
He was added to be a part of the Allendale district.
Gotcha. Nice.
He's from the Mount Pleasant area. So,
yeah.
They decided to kind of hold him in and see what he was about.
And that is a challenge for us as a cooperative that serves a wide service territory. We serve more than just Berkeley County. We serve portions of the Tri-County. So when we go out to Johns Island or Ondaw, those are pretty high cost of living areas. So it can be a challenge for us to recruit an 18-year-old who probably can't afford an $800,000 house, and so cost of living. And so finding somebody who maybe has a family in the area, maybe could stay with them until they work their way up the ranks or can find a roommate or something, that's certainly a challenge for us.
We get somebody from the Mount Pleasant area or the West Ashley, Johns Island. It definitely uniforms. We don't get them too often, so we snag them up, try to keep it close.
Yep.
So, Austin, how was your experience to the internship, and what made you want to come aboard full-time eventually?
I feel like my experience I had a good experience. I like the hands-on, doing everything, hands-on job pretty much. Like you said, 14 weeks, it's a lot to take in for being a apprentice one when you come in. But I do like on Fridays being on the job, getting the feeling of what it's like, everybody around you. But maybe you want to come full time is being on the job, everything's hands on, outside. And most importantly, the guys I was working with, they helped me out, taught me most of the stuff that I know. I felt more confident after going a couple Fridays, working with the crew, and then going back to the class. I felt more confident, more than the guys that were already there. Knowing that I know a little bit more than what they know already.
That's right. Yeah, that's a strong benefit of getting to work on Fridays. I feel like you get a little bit ahead of the game. It gets back in the class.
What district did you work in?
V Street.
Okay. What crew were you part of?
Philip Scarborough.
Okay. And he's still your current foreman?
No, we switched crews 2 months ago. Now Ashby Freeman is my foreman.
Ashby's a good guy, too.
He live and all the shit. Not the live.
That's it. No. Well, if you're just tuning in with us, we've got a packed house today, and I'm joined by my co-host Peyton Dress, our digital media specialist, as well as Austin Hewette, Apprentice Lineman 2 in our Goose Creek District, and Mr. Trey Colyar, Director of Safety and Technical Training. So, I mentioned at the start of the show hurricane season and the devastation that Helene brought through western South Carolina, western North Carolina, Georgia. Milton certainly wreaked havoc in Florida. So linemen are definitely in the forefront of our minds for many people, especially those who have been without power for weeks. But just day in and day out, it doesn't have to take hurricane season. Our line workers are perhaps the most visible and recognizable employees at the co-op. And Peyton can tell you anytime we feature our line workers on social media that people love to see them and love to engage with them. One of my favorite promotions is in October. We take a crew to the animal shelter and they just play with the dogs and get them pictures because it's National Adopt a Shelter Dog. Mm-hmm. So half the women comment they want to adopt the lineman as well as the dog. Yeah, it's about 50-50 in adopters die.
I don't know what's got going on in October, but mid-December down.
It's for a good cause.
Somebody mentioned doing a calendar.
Oh, no. Yeah, they pitch that every year in the comments. They're like, yeah, this would be a great fundraiser for the co-op. I'm like, I don't know if I could get approval for that.
Our boss tells us that the next year we'd have to do the ladies at the contact center. So,
be careful.
Yeah, so we'll probably stick with the landscapes for the calendar. But if you,
but everyone loves line workers. I'd love to see them on social media. Always top performing posts to do.
Yeah, she said. But in all seriousness, line work is a dangerous, high-stakes job that requires years and years of training and on-job experience to become a journeyman. Trey, what does that process look like?
So we like to start our guys off with the apprenticeship program. We'll start them out as a grindman if they don't have the ELW training, a 14-week third-class certificate. But every year, the advancement, so it takes 60 months. It's a 60-month process. Mm-hmm. You start come in as an apprentice 1, work your way to a 4. After you're apprentice 4, you become a journeyman 1, which is 5 years. After the 5th year, you're eligible to become a journeyman 2. So that's topped out as far as the journeyman course goes. And then after that, they got proficiency levels after 2 years journeyman 2, and most people like to work their way up as a foreman role over the probably 10-year course.
Yeah.
But it's come a long way. I know when I first got here, all the linemen that worked here, they did the free climbing. When I got here, we got a butt squeeze. We got a safer aspect of climbing. A little different. A lot of people that always free climbed didn't like the new butt squeeze style. But it was a safer transition. The way they progressed before I got there, you had to have a journeyman opening before you could progress to a journeyman role. So
okay.
We were apprentice for 4 years, and we got a second class lineman. That's what you were labeled as until there was an opening. So if you worked in Mont's Corner and you were a second class lineman, there was no opening as a Mont's Corner. There was one in Johns Island or Illinois. You got to put in for that to advance.
And did the same travel rules apply? Did you have to move?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
It was 20 miles. Crow flies.
Yeah.
Policy. So.
Yeah. So we, if you're listening and wondering what we're talking about, the distance, we want our linemen to be able to respond at all times within a certain time period. So there's a requirement that they live within a certain radius of the district that they work in.
Mm-hmm. We want them close by.
Yeah. So Trey, what skills and personality traits do you think make it for a good, successful line worker?
I'd say professional is probably the strongest suit. Professional, from day one, on time. I know Austin, when, I'm sure when he did a scholarship program, he was probably the first one here. I said that all the coolers.
Awesome.
But it doesn't stop, after that. So when you first get a job here, as long as you keep up the pace, stay professional, always, look presentable, encouraging for others, no matter what job title you are, if you're apprentice one or journeyman 2 or foreman, encouraging others, being helpful, being teachable. You know, we learn stuff every day. I don't care how long I've been here, 17 and a half years, and I'm still learning stuff. So you have to be open to ideas.
Yeah.
Just wear an open mind constantly.
Yeah.
But those are the basics, to become a successful line worker. It's just not, working in the elements is probably a given. When it's hot, it's cold, it's cold. But that's like
it's raining.
Yeah, that's the minimum. I mean, it goes beyond that.
Oh, yeah.
So
We see a lot of feedback on Facebook, and especially during storms, we see it a lot more. But people that interact with the linemen, I think people maybe forget that they're not just out there climbing poles, fixing lights. They're interacting with the public as well. And people all the time are talking about how great our guys are, how professional, how polite. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So I think that's a big component on and off the job, in the building or out in the field as well. So people might not realize.
Yeah, we sent a bunch of guys to help with lane restoration and repair efforts. And we were hearing on social media about our guys over in, Aiken or, just all over the place. They were tracking them down and saying great things about them.
Yeah, and just providing factual information to our members is probably a big deal when it comes to working outside and being on the line tree, even really any department you work in professionally. But since they see us the most,
oh yeah,
we always had to have that caring, knowledgeable, presentable attitude, approachable.
Yeah.
So
That was all right. So Austin, what's your favorite part about being a lineman? And if someone was maybe on the fence of applying for the scholarship or the internship, what would you tell them if they were kind of on the fence based off your experience?
Like I said, my favorite part about being a lineman is probably being outside, and I'm a hands-on learner, so I got to have my hands on anything that I'm doing to understand it. I would tell, if somebody was on the fence, I'd tell them that this is a great place to work. And when you're outside with the guys, and make it a little bit better, talking.
And have fun with each other.
Having fun.
I was going to say, it's, to get what he was trying to say, it's a family. It's a second family. There was a time where we worked 5-10s for years, and I actually seen the guys I work with more than I seen my own family. I was here more than I was at home. So definitely a strong bond. The longer you work with the same people, the more you move around. I know Goose Creek's got they're always looking out for each other, always hanging out on the weekends and doing different events. And it's definitely a big old family. 306 employees to everybody, just big family.
Got it.
And another thing I'd say is we have fun and all when it's time to have fun, but when it's time to work, then it's time to get serious.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, and our Goose Creek district has the most meter density of any of our 4 districts. So you guys are crazy busy.
Yeah, there ain't a whole lot of downtime in the Goose Creek district.
Yeah, but they're always out doing something.
Well, for more information about Berkeley Electric's ELW internship scholarship, go to our website at berkeleyelectric.coop/careers. That's berkeleyelectric.coop/careers. And you can learn more about how to apply for the scholarship internship. If you are interested in learning more about the TTC program, you need to go to the website. Berkeley Electric was once again ranked as one of the best places to work in South Carolina. So if you're interested in learning more about any job at the co-op, like Trey said, we're a big family and lots of different jobs from accounting to engineering and everything in between. Sign up for our job alerts and follow us on all of the major social media channels. So thank you for tuning in to Power Talk. This is the official broadcast of your electric cooperative. You can catch up on past episodes on streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. Get a behind-the-scenes look at Berkeley Electric's YouTube channel. Thanks.
Where will you be when the lights go out? Will you be on the sidelines or will you be on the front lines? helping your community in a high-demand job with excellent pay and benefits and a work environment like none other. It's not a career for everybody, but if you're ready to answer the call, then it's time to join our crew by visiting berkeleyelectric.coop. Berkeley Electric is your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative.